Okay, today's quick lesson is on multiplying and dividing integers. Now, basically, all you have to do to multiply and divide integers is just count negative signs. Okay? Once you've counted the negative signs, then identify, do we have an even amount of negative signs, or do I have an odd amount of negative signs? So if I have 5 negative signs, that's like saying I've got an odd amount of negative signs. So now, take a look at the board here. If you have an even amount of negative signs, that means your answer is going to be positive. If you have an odd amount of negative signs, that means your answer is going to be negative. Now, let's just go through some examples of multiplying or dividing integers. These examples I took from the bottom of the page on the worksheet that you did with adding and subtracting integers. So if you want to follow along, pull out your worksheet from the folder. Okay, the first problem we have is a simple multiplication problem of negative 3 times 4. Now, how many negative signs do I have? Well, I only have one. 1 is an odd number, therefore I know that my answer is going to be negative. Then you just multiply the two numbers. 3 times 4 is 12. Therefore your answer is negative 12. Okay? Take a look at the second problem. Negative 2 times negative 5. Now, in this multiplication problem, I have two negative numbers. 2 is an even number. So therefore, my answer is going to be positive. So 2 times 5 is a positive 10. Now I've got a string of numbers in a multiplication problem. Same procedure. Just count the negative signs. Count them all. How many do you have? Well, I've got 1, 2, 3. Now, I've got 4 numbers, but I'm only concerned with the negative signs. I've got 1, 2, 3 negative signs. 3 is an odd number, therefore my answer will be negative. Then I go through and do the multiplication. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 times 2 is 60. Final answer there is negative 60. Okay? And the last problem we have here is a division problem. Now, division problems are a little bit easier because there's only going to be 2 numbers. So here I have negative 8 divided by 2. Same thing. Count the negative signs. How many negative signs do you see? Well, I have 1. 1 is an odd number. Therefore, my answer is going to be negative. So do the math. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Negative 4 in that case. Now, one quick tip I'd like to tell you guys about. When I do these problems, the first thing I do is identify whether or not the answer is going to be positive or negative. Then I go through and do the math. Okay, now on your worksheet, all I want you to do on your worksheet is identify, will the final answer be positive or negative? Do not go through and do the math. Just put positive or negative on your paper for each problem.